So you have heard this unbelievable Istanbul carousel, right? Putin says, no, we're going to do a 30-day ceasefire, but we could meet. Putin is told, well, let's meet. And then he doesn't want to meet, or he does want to meet. He doesn't want to meet Zelensky, but he wants to meet Trump. And then he doesn't want to go, but he's going to send somebody, or he's not going to send somebody, he's going to send somebody else. There's this unbelievable carousel about the talks in Istanbul. And it's very important that we don't actually focus on the details of this. There's been too much focus on the details of this. Let's focus on the big picture. What does right now, I have no idea what date it is, beautiful community, whatever date it is today in May 2025, what does Putin want? Putin wants, number one, Trump to think that Putin genuinely wants peace. Putin wants Trump to think he wants peace, number one. Number two, Putin wants to get a deal or not to get a deal. He wants to get a deal if it's a deal that is compatible with the essentially domestic political fragmentation of Ukraine. If it isn't, he pretty much doesn't want it. And if he doesn't get a deal, he wants not getting a deal to be something that Trump blames on Ukraine and Europe. So Putin wants Trump to think he wants peace, number one. Number two, Putin wants no deal or a deal, and if it's no deal, he wants Trump to blame the United States, to blame Europe and Ukraine, or if it's a deal, he wants the deal to be a kind of sort of chronically toxic capitulation for Ukraine. Number three, bigger term, what does Putin want for Trump? He wants success for Trump. He wants success for Trump. Why does he want success for Trump? Because he wants the United States to change in two ways: to become less of a global actor and more of a regional power, and more of an illiberal actor than a liberal democracy. So Putin wants the United States to be a regional illiberal power. And he thinks Trump is good at getting America there. And so he likes Trump for that reason. But let's do even bigger picture. Why is all this stuff just so messy and hard to fathom? Why is the political reality on the international stage so chaotic? It's because two things are going on, beautiful community. The first one is one we talk about a lot. That's simply the fragmentation of the global order. So whatever is left of the global order is fast transferring itself into a kind of chaotic carousel of frenemies. Medium powers, big powers who are often simultaneously friends and enemies in certain respects. That's why the world looks so strange. That's why it's so hard to say who is whose ally. That's why it's hard to figure out why countries have conflicting motivations more than they used to a couple of decades ago, you know? So we've got number one, big picture, the fragmentation of the global order that's transferred into kind of a carousel of frenemies. The second thing that's going on is convergence. And this is not the convergence of Frank Fukuyama a la 1992 or 1999. It's the opposite. It's convergence on a fascicized neoliberal model of monarchism that says political legitimacy should ultimately rest with the person at the top. If they do it, it's legit. If they don't want it, it's not legit, no matter what various counter-majoritarian institutions might say. And that means that today, Trumpism might be 31.4%, like Putinism, but tomorrow, let's say a year later, it might be 39.9% like Putinism. That's where we are going, because there is a global wave of this kind of fascicized neoliberal monarchism that is drawing ever closer together post-truth populists in the West and unlovely authoritarians like Putin scattered across the globe. So it's just a little bit of a sort of a set of footnotes behind the bizarre and chaotic daily political news cycle that you are seeing. If you want health updates on me, beautiful community, they're always going to be in the community tab on the main on the chat channel. But in a nutshell, after 21 days in hospital, I'm back. I'm still awaiting treatment, but there are some options on the table. I can't stand. I can't sit for more than 2 minutes in my amazing new wheelchair. Amazing new wheelchair. And my stuff got stolen on the way back from the hospital. But the biggest challenge will be, do I have enough medical equipment and enough oxygen and enough other stuff at home to keep myself from being recirculated in the next few days via an ambulance into the hospital system again? So we're going to see about that. But for now, lots of love and talk very soon.